Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I got an EP3 Civic in the shop. I've been doing some mechanic work on it, so now it's time to get her cleaned up. So she's pretty dirty. Get her pulled outside, do a nice 2-bucket hand wash, pull her back inside. We're gonna clay it and do a 1-step paint correction. One of my go-to 1-steps is this 3D speed stuff. So probably hit it with an orange foam pad. Of course, we'll tape everything off. I'm going to shoot some video for every little step of the process. We'll do a little talking about all that stuff and what the point of all those steps are. So let's get started. Okay, so let's go over some of the stuff I'm going to be using to just do a wash. Of course, I got an assortment of brushes. I use this when I'm detailing engine bays, help wipe stuff down. It's a brush I use when I'm hitting wheels. Another brush used to get the inner barrel of a wheel. Several size bore hair brushes. Also for, that's like hitting a grill or round emblems while you're washing. So to typically do a wash prior to paint correction, typically, you want a pH neutral soap, something that's not going to have wax and stuff like that built into it. Just a normal, decent pH balanced soap. I always add O&R, just helps add a lot of lubrication to stuff. And then I'm going to add some strip wash from Adams into my foam cannon. So I'm gonna be foaming the vehicle first. A lot of strip wash while I'm doing that, just to help strip any wax and crud that might be on the paintwork prior to washing. Then of course you got your 2 wash buckets, the wash bucket itself, and then a rinse bucket with diffuser grit guards at the bottom that helps separate the dirt from the water itself, so all that will fall in. Tire brush, hard bristle brush whenever you're cleaning tires, and another brush that kind of fits behind spokes of a wheel, or you can get behind the spoke himself or clean the inner barrel. Also, sometimes I use this on the engine bay. So let's get some water put into these things and get started. Okay guys, car's pulled back in, wash is done. I also did a chemical decon. I use, it's in my own spray bottle, but Iron X iron remover from Adams, which you can get any of them. So the next step will be to clay it. So this has already been partially used. They usually come in like a bar soap kind of shape. So you just pull pieces of this and you'll knead it into a big flat piece that fits in the palm of your hand. So you can use an actual clay lube, a detail type spray, even soap and water when you're doing this. There's plenty of YouTube videos on this. Basically what you're doing is lubricating a panel at a time, taking that section of clay, and you're going to be working in small increments like this, moving back and forth, real quick movements, not applying too much pressure, but definitely a little bit. and then you'll pull it up and you'll see some basically bonded contaminants that get embedded in the clear coat. So this stage of claying is super important prior to paint correcting. So after we clay it, we'll wipe all that down, and then we'll do an IPA type pre-wash or pre-wipe. So I'll wipe this whole car down with an alcohol type solution. Basically, what we're trying to get here is have a perfectly clean surface, something that's not going to give us any issues once we put pad down, because you don't want to be pulling any contaminants from the paintwork into your pad as you're polishing. For one, it's going to clog your pads up and not allow you to buff that surface. Two, it's going to make you run through pads. And then third, obviously any contaminants you're pulling up and you're in a rotating piece of equipment, now you're probably going to be scratching that panel as you're supposed to be correcting that panel. So you don't want any of those problems. So basically all these steps are a necessity prior to any kind of form of paint correction. So if you're going to be buffing paint, you want to do a really good solid strip wash on the paint, decontaminate it. I do both versions. I mechanically or chemically do it with a product like Iron X, and then I'm also going to clay it, and then I wipe it down with alcohol. So we basically have the cleanest surface possible prior to putting machine to paint. So stay with me. All right. So take our clay, break off a piece. It don't take much, you know, a little piece like this. Kind of knead it a little bit. Like so. Take our lube, do a little test piece. Spray the lube, or spray the clay tube. As you're claying, you can hear, typically hear and feel the rough spot, and then as you're going over an area, it'll start getting really smooth. And that pretty much lets you know you've pulled everything that you're gonna pull. This car's actually not that bad. You can see a little bit of the dark area, some of the stuff we're pulling up, but you get the idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this whole car. I typically do like a 2x2 section, depending on how dirty the paint is, obviously how much stuff you're pulling out. You might have to end up going through several pieces of these, but after a while, wipe it down, re-knead all the stuff you're picking up. You'll re-knead it back into it to give you a new fresh surface, and keep progressing around the car. I'll be right back. Okay, got the car all clay barred. Did a paint line, or tape line. I'll be using my 15mm throw DA from Max Shine, Stain 15 Pro, orange. Chemical Guys Hex Logic pad. It's like a medium kind of cut with the HD speed. So I'm going to go ahead and make a little pass on the other side of that line, and then we'll compare it. I always kind of typically do like a little test spot just to see how the pad and the compound combination is going to work on a specific car's paint. I believe this car's been painted. I already checked some paint thickness readings. We're only doing a one step anyway. The customer's not chasing perfection, so we're just looking for a nice solid 80% improvement over the condition it's in. And I'm gonna take my light after I make this pass, and then so y'all can see the before and after. So one second. I like to prime the pad a little bit. So I'll put a couple tiny drops around the pad. And I'll rub them in. We're just doing a small section, so it'll be about 2 dime-sized dots. Typically spread it around on a 1 or 2 setting, and then I'll crank it up and on the higher setting to work the compounding. Oh yeah, I can already tell. It's a pretty big difference. Sorry, I'll bring y'all in and grab a light. I'm using an Astra 50SL. It mimics kind of like sunlight. Good detailing light. So here's behind the camera. The untouched side is how the whole car is right now. Pretty harsh. So as you can see, there's still definitely some light imperfections, some of the deeper stuff, you know, that a one-step's not really designed to attack. But definitely a big improvement over that. So it's actually really pretty blue flake in this color. It's black paint, but there's a lot of blue flake in it. You can see all the blue. So awesome. We'll let's see if we get up here. Huge difference. We'll get this whole car knocked out. See you guys in a few hours. Okay guys, it is the next day. I finished polishing the truck, or the car. Sorry, I'm tired. This is how she came out. So the exterior is done. So this is a one-step paint correction. I used HD Speed with an orange Hex Logic foam pad from Chemical Guys on a Max Shine M15 Pro DA. Came out really nice. Not perfect, obviously, but it's a one-step. It ain't supposed to be perfect, but obviously huge improvement. Car looks amazing. Customer's gonna be super stoked. I already sent him a little video and he thought I ceramic coated it. It's not. It's just corrected with a one-step and it's waxed. But yep, just want to do a little walk around. I got to finish doing some interior stuff, and then she'll be done. But But yeah, I just want to do a quick little thrown together video. I'm not going crazy in depth. I'll kind of do more in-depth videos on each specific step on what it takes to do a full detail in a car. You know, as far as doing a 2-bucket hand wash, to clay barring, to paint correction by itself, to applying coatings. Get a little more into detail about how all that stuff works and why it works so good, etc. But yeah, if y'all haven't, please like and subscribe. Ask any questions you have to ask. If you want me to do specific videos on anything detailing related, please feel free to ask me. I'll be glad to do it. But yeah, till next time, guys. Peace.